Hello, ladies and gentlemen, with Sidereal Ascendant Gemini or Moon in Gemini for modern tropical astrology. This will be Cancer. In this video, I will be describing how year 2026 will look like for you. I will be looking into the year month per month. We start with January. And of course, we'll be looking at the most important aspects of planets, most important heliacal phases, which means disappearance or disappearance of planets on the sky, because this usually results in events. And also, of course, we will analyze briefly the eclipses. Of course, this will be quite general because the secrets are in your personal horoscopes. And if you want to have detailed analysis of 2026 for you, you can have consultation with me, and the links to my discounted consultations for year 2026 are under this video. Also, if you like, you can subscribe to my new channel, not very new already, no, it's not new, to my other channel, which is about my farming, animals, volcanic cooking, and whatnot. It is not astrological, it's just a fun channel. So let's start now for you to look at your horoscope, people who have Sidereal Ascendant Gemini or Moon in Gemini for modern tropical astrology. This is Cancer. Now for you, when we start with January, we are entering, we look now specifically at January, so we are entering 2026 with invisible Venus. So Venus, it will be invisible in Scorpio, your 6th house, where she actually is turning invisible now in December, to become visible later on 5th of February in the last degrees of Capricorn, to decide matters related to when with her appearance visible, she will bring after deciding matters related to your 6th house, she will bring results to the house where she becomes visible. I hope this is not too complex. I will explain a little bit more. So now she's invisible and is conjoining with the Sun in Scorpio, and in your 6th house. There, when they meet, the Sun and Venus, they make decisions related to your health, routine, to health as not only as practical health of your body, but also health as subject. So this will be decided, and later on she will bless your 8th house. This could be through secret knowledge that she will bless. This could be, and then bring to you, this could be some blessing related to money from unexpected sources, or money from sources like insurances, inheritances, from money from partnerships. All these unexpected sources, there she can bring blessing. Also, speaking about January, another very, very important event is taking place, actually starting with the passage of Venus into Capricorn. It is this very big stellium, very big conjunction. You will have invisible, this is about 18th of January, invisible Moon, invisible Mars, invisible Venus, Pluto, who of course is also invisible, the Sun, and invisible Mercury. 6 planets will make conjunction on 18th of January in your 8th house to make decision. This is assembly of gods, assembly of planets. They gather together in order to decide something that later you will know about when they become visible. Like later they will announce. Now they are sitting around the Lord of the solar system, which is the Sun, to come up later with something for you. And this is 8th house. 8th house is money. 8th house is money of your partner. 8th house is money from partnerships. 8th house is your secret knowledge. 8th house is your secret place in general. So they meet together to decide on your destiny. Could be that you get amazing knowledge after the planets become visible, and blessing in different ways, of course, but we look month per month, and we will analyze all their heliacal rises, the moments when they become visible, and what they will mean for you. So Interestingly, so this is happening in January, and also later on we have the eclipse, and the first eclipse is immediately after, one day before they meet, 17th of February. So they meet on 18th of February, on 17th of February we have the eclipse. So see how important is everything. So on 17th of February we have the annular solar eclipse. And this eclipse is taking place in the 4th degrees of Aquarius. Solar eclipse, 4th degree Aquarius. Very important, this is your 9th house. The 4 eclipses of year 2026 will happen on axis in your chart, which is axis related to long distance travel, studies, communication. Also, this could be your father figure, commercial activities, your media work, communication with people abroad, and so on. And the eclipses will activate this axis, and the eclipses we have one in February, second eclipse on the 2nd or 3rd March, and then we have 2 eclipses in August that we will also mention separately. So you see, we have the eclipse, which is opening portal like for changes regarding the 9th house of yours, and later on this major conjunction is taking place in your 8th house, and only almost month after that we have the major event which we already witnessed in 2025 this year, which is Saturn-Neptune conjunction. I made separate videos, not only one, on this conjunction because I see it as a very important event. Saturn-Neptune conjunction. It's a very important event because it is always changing the energy of the matrix, of the collective, but also on our horoscopes, of course. So, in your horoscope, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction is happening on your 10th house. And let me tell you what you probably experienced already, because Saturn and Neptune, when they met this year, it was in the spring, but later on, I think in July, we had them one time together in August and in September again, and it was all the time happening in the 7 degrees of Sidereal Pisces. So they met, and they will meet for the last time on the 20th of February. This will be the big event because they meet for the last time. This is the strongest influence of this conjunction, when they meet for the last time, Saturn and Neptune. So what to expect from them? To further the changes related to your highest goals, rank, occupation, career. Very important conjunction, usually results in very important changes, which you probably felt when they met in the summer and then autumn, and then they will meet again for the last time, like I said, in next year in February. Then also during this, then we have the eclipse taking place. Then Saturn is becoming invisible on the same place. This is just on the day of the eclipse, 3rd of March, you have the eclipse, and this is the eclipse. This is the lunar, the total lunar, 2nd, 3rd of March, very important eclipse, 18 degree Aquarius, 18 degree Leo, sacred degree, super important for your knowledge, studies, long distance travels, awakening, communication, commercial work, very, very important. So on the day of the eclipse, Saturn is turning invisible in the very same 7 degree. So what to expect from him? He's taking away the old status quo. Some elderly people may go, but he also means that some of your superiors may change, for example, because he also is ruling the rulers. So Saturn will become invisible, and he becomes visible again on 12th of May to bring to you something new. Again, in Pisces, he becomes visible, something new regarding your career plans, career in general. So this is also very, very important. And now we continue to Mars. Mars, as we speak, is invisible. And as he's invisible, we are not seeing his classical martial warrior-like behavior. He is in his morning first, becoming visible for the first time on 9th of June. Guess where? In Aries. So Mars is becoming visible in Aries, which is your 11th house. Before he becomes visible, he would have his conjunction with the Sun on 9th of January on your 7th house. 9th of January, Mars is meeting the Sun in your 7th house. So there will be decision made regarding your entrepreneurship, your business partnership. So in January, you may need to be a little bit more careful with your business, with your partnerships in general. Without worries, just be a little bit more diplomatic. On the 9th of June, he becomes visible for the first time. And this is Aries. He's in his kingdom there. He rules Aries. So he can come and say, now I am the ruler. I am the decision maker. And regarding what? 11th house are finances. 11th house are connections, friendships, your projects, your plannings, all this. So you may need to be a little bit careful, because depends how Mars is placed in your horoscope, but he also is able to bring sometimes disharmonies, conflicts with people. So be careful, diplomatic, that he doesn't cause you conflicts with friends, with people who are your connections, and so. So this is about the heliacal rise of Mars. This is an event with big, huge value. Also in June, first week of June, Jupiter is leaving your ascendant, where he will be in until beginning of June. Now Jupiter is on your ascendant. Even though he's fallen, he is bringing you blessing and protection. I am very sure about that. And when he will become part of Cancer, actually this will be very, very good for you, because this is his place of power. This is his hidden place. This is his the most beautiful place for Jupiter is Cancer. So he will give you most probably good financial results. And also, speaking about that, in August, on the 31st of August, Jupiter and Saturn are forming the trine. And actually, you probably remember, every time they form square, financially, this is devastating for the world, for the markets. But now on the 31st of August, they are forming the trine, which is good for you, for your finances, for your, most probably you have very good financial results. But saying this, let's take a quick look at the eclipses of August. Now the first one is on the 12th of August, and the second one 27, 28 August. So the first one is the solar, again 18 degrees of Leo. This was, I think, 18-degree Aquarius, excuse me. So this is the solar. Again, emphasis on 9th house, on studies, on communication with people abroad, on your awakening. So this is the first eclipse of August. This is the solar eclipse. And later on, we have on the 27th, 28th of August, the partial lunar eclipse on the 10 degrees of Leo. And he's a little bit emphasizing on your commercial work, communication, studies. So in August, be a little bit careful with your studies, because Saturn is opening portal for change, and second half February, first half March, and complete August. So there he can form and bring some changes regarding studies, communication, long distance travels, and all these matters. So you may need to be careful when you do exams, when you travel, when you communicate with people. Be a little bit careful, especially around these times, which I just mentioned to you. So see, after the eclipse, we will have Jupiter, Saturn trine, Uranus, Pluto trine, you know, and this is big deal. very, very interesting, very benevolent in your chart, could be financially benevolent, because and later on the same Jupiter-Saturn trine will be repeated only in April of 2027. So you have it in August next year, and then in 2027 in April. So this is one super, super important event also to consider. And then for there will be a short period when we'll be missing Jupiter a little bit. And this is when he also hides to become invisible, to hide in the rays of the sun. And this is 1st of July. And we'll see him again visible. Oh, and all this is happening in Cancer. So we'll see him visible again in the 16 degrees of Cancer on the 16th of August. Also before the eclipse. So August is again a very, very interesting month. So to continue with these interesting events, in also Venus, this will be 1st of September. Venus becomes invisible as an evening star in Libra. This is your 5th house. So by becoming invisible in Libra, where she rules, where she's very important in a throne, on her throne, when she becomes invisible, she's taking away with herself something that you, for example, something old that you don't need anymore in relation to creative work, artistic work. Maybe some old friends can go, people that are not good for your life anymore. So she becomes invisible, and she rises heliacally, meaning she becomes visible again on the 30th of October, again in Libra. And then she'll give you another blessing, maybe some gains, maybe some lucky stuff for your children, also for your love life, for creativity, for creative activities, some muse she can bring you. She can be very good for some beauty creation or beauty procedures even, you know. So she will bring you some luck. 30th October is that, not to forget, very, very important date. So in a summary for you, the most important events are taking place on the axes of your 10th, 9th houses, all above the horizon. It is all related to your studies, to your career, secret knowledge, finances, you see. And let's not forget Uranus, since last year for another 6 years approximately will be in your 12th house too. He can be very benevolent for you for another 6 years. Next year, 5 more years, he can be very benevolent for you, for your for matters related to 12th house, which are medicine, healing, mostly. Like also he can change totally your look at spirituality. You know, Uranus can be very transformative and fast transformative. So he can make you look at health as topic totally differently, at healing, and he can be very, very benevolent for you in this regard, because he's the Lord of divine wisdom. So let's finish here, ladies and gentlemen, with Sidereal and Gemini. I wish you great 2026. The year will be a little bit more interesting than 2025. And of course, if you want to know in detail how the year will look like for you, you can find me for a consultation. Now still I have my reduced prices there. And yes, I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.